It is still on here. Boulevard Park Library, May 10th, 1992. It's all timestamped. They're going to have to come and get it.
Of course, little Brandi is now music superstar Brandi Carlile. But to a young girl coming of age and struggling with her own sexuality, Elton John was a flicker of hope in a confusing world. She loved him and said so in writing.
This is an entire page covered front to back, and it says nothing but I love Elton John.
How old do you think you were?
11, 12. It's insane. I look at it now. I just can't believe what happened in my life to get me to where I am now. It's such a strange thing. It makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder. I do love Elton John.
As a kid, she never dreamed she'd actually get to meet him one day. But sometimes dreams have a funny way of coming true.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandi Carlile.
Now they're not only friends, but collaborators. It's much too late. It started a few years back when Brandi wrote to Elton out of the blue and asked him to play piano on her new record. Long story short, he said yes, and they grew to be the best of friends, appearing together, performing together, even vacationing together with their families. Elton John and David Furnish, who were married in 2014, have 2 kids, Zachary and Elijah. Brandi Carlile and Catherine Shepard wed in 2012, and they have 2 kids, Evangeline and Elijah. And now the 2 legends are about to release an album they made together. It's Brandi Carlile's 8th studio album, and Elton John's 33rd. They recorded it here at Sunset Sound in Hollywood. So, you 2 have sung together before, but why did you decide to do an entire album?
She's someone I wanted to work with for so long because I know how great she is, I know how her voice is, and I knew what she's capable of, and I wanted to push her more, and I wanted her to push me more. So I wanted to make a record that was full of energy and great songs, and it turned out really brilliantly.
There were cameras in the studio to capture all the highs and a few of the lows. Why did you decide to let cameras in?
I didn't even think of them being there.
Yeah, I never saw one.
It was never a conscious thing that they were there. I haven't really seen the footage, but a lot of people say it's really, really very moving. So, and all of my behaviour is not so moving.
The chorus.
Okay, and that was a nightmare.
You might just end it.
Dude.
Nightmare.
It got tense at times, but for Brandi, it was still the greatest show on earth.
It really felt like I was watching Mozart, or like one of the great composers, stream of consciousness through their entire body, create music in a way that I've never seen. And I was so close. I was like, I had a front row seat.
This is one of the greatest musical experiences of my life. This never happened to me in my whole career.
The fact that Elton got through the recording process at all is remarkable.
It's never too late.
For the past year, he's been fighting a severe eye infection that's left him nearly blind. But he says that, all things considered, he's doing all right.
Medically, I'm fit as I've ever been. I have checkups every month. But the eyesight thing is a bit of a bind because I haven't been able to watch anything for about 7 months. I haven't been able to read. I haven't been able to watch television or anything. But you know what? I've come to the conclusion that if we can't find a solution to it, and this is what it's like for the rest of my life, then I'm okay. I can still play the piano. I can still sing, which is a gift. My life's fantastic. It's still the greatest gift that anyone could have.
When this whole world is done with me, when I close my eyes, release me.
These days, Elton John, who turned 78 this past week, is counting his blessings. But the final track on the album really struck a nerve. When This Old World Is Done With Me, co-written by longtime collaborator Bernie Taupin.
I know you were emotional in the studio singing that. What got to you about that?
Well, I started singing, and I thought the verse was really beautiful, but then I had no idea what was coming. And when I got to the chorus, I realized what was coming, and I just broke down. And I sobbed, and I sobbed, and I sobbed, because it's about my death, basically. And when you get to my age, and a certain age, you think about mortality, because I want to spend so much time with my children and David and my friends, that you want every single moment to count. And so this was a song about, I don't want to die. I want to be with my children. I want to be with David forever. And so it really got to me.
Release me like an ocean wave. Return me to